Hi guys, welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name's Stephen Howson. How are you? That's Omar,
Hello.
aka Brother Omar.
How are you, mate?
I'm alright, mate. How are you?
Not too bad.
Oh, this is nice.
This is Joe,
Hello, I'm Joe.
and that's Boosh,
I do Boosh.
All Liam, depending on preference.
The mighty Boosh.
the mighty Boosh. Oh,
So we've all got nicknames now.
Oh.
What's yours?
that fat knobhead, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So United won 1-0 against Kristiansund, made double hard work of it after banging in a right load of chances. In fact, I'll tell you how many chances we had, because I do believe it was...
When you sort your Face ID out, mate.
I know, innit?
Sorry,
Let's just say that it was a penalty by Juan Mata in the last minute as well. If you
Which
didn't
he
see
died
it.
for.
Fucking hell.
He did
He
die
did
for
die
it.
for it. It was mental.
Righty then. Here's what Ryan sent through to me. 73% possession, 9 on target. How many did we have though? Oh, there we go. Nope.
No.
We had
Anyway.
15 at half
we had
time.
15 shots.
I'll tell you how many we
Basically-
had at full time in a minute.
We had a lot of shots on target, and that was from a lot of our players who actually looked all right on the ball and getting into the box. Martial had a couple of digs,
what
Rashford had a
Hashtag
couple of digs.
analysis.
So what? So
Greenwood.
if you guys are going to look at positives, what positives would you take from this performance? Because obviously it was a bit dire for the whole entire game.
I don't know if it was dire.
Mate, it was
We
nil-
just
it was-
didn't
It was
score.
0-0.
No,
we just didn't
There's a
score.
multitude of different nil-nils.
So how would you assess the overall performance?
We
then?
created
Because
chances.
we dominated, didn't we?
Because sometimes chances go in and sometimes they don't. And there's sometimes a keeper has a world it, which we
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
Both goalies had good games.
But if you're... oh, I mean, they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was one. No, never mind. If you're not creating chances, you've got problems. But if you're creating chances, eventually you get results. And we created chances.
So if we were taking
30 shots we had, Omar.
30.
According to my stats, which Ryan didn't definitely just update 3 seconds ago.
30
shots.
on target.
See, if you're having
and it
30
took
shots,
a penalty to
it's
that
generally
was
gonna
dominating,
it's
yeah.
generally gonna
Yeah.
go in your favour.
I agree, 100%. So then, how would you guys assess, if we're looking at it in both halves then, how would you guys assess the first half and then the second half?
You can take positives out of either half
Yeah,
of
definitely. I
individual
agree.
performances. I thought our most threatening player first half was probably Scott McTominay. I thought he was getting in all the right areas and bombing forwards, using the space that Width was giving him.
a couple of worldy digs as well.
He did. He hit the post, didn't
target.
he?
Yeah.
And then I thought second half, Tahith Chong was quite threatening towards the end. Had a few
Rashford
good
threatening
digs.
from a free kick.
Yeah, exactly.
Rashford, yeah.
And don't forget, Fred had a little 50p in his own
I
mark
thought
today.
Fred looked a bit decent
I
when he
thought he
came
scored
on.
for a second.
He looked like he could control the middle
Mason
of
had
the
a
pitch.
chance.
Yeah, Mason.
So
as
what we're
well.
saying is a lot of players did all right. None of them had an absolute world-class game or, managed to get
I
the ball
thought
in
the
the back
movement
of the
was
net.
good as a team. I thought they were... Like, an issue I've had with United in recent times is that it doesn't feel like a team. It feels like 11 dudes wearing the same shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas there was times today where when Marshall did that spin,
Yeah.
James ran across him. And the reason that Marshall had space to his... I think it was to his right once he came off the spin was because James had carried a defender with him. That's teamwork. That's running off the ball.
Yeah.
That's what we've not had for a while. So I was very impressed with the movement off the ball. I thought that was excellent in both... I was going to say both halves, but with both 11s, if you know what I mean. Because when we made all the changes, I still thought Chong and Greenwood was running for each other. I thought Pereira's link-up play with Fred was fantastic. There was loads of little things to be positive for. One game to go.
So
I'm pretty happy.
So,
As long as-
does the final third then concern you guys?
Yeah.
I think
terms
the
of
getting the ball in the
clinicalness.
back of net concerns me because I do
Yeah.
think we've got good attacking players who know how to give the headache a bit of the defence, but that ball, and it's
Yeah,
the
they
simple...
a bit of a defence.
The defence bit of an headache. I've been up there. It's getting that ball past that white line, and that's all we got to do to become a really good team. And we just don't seem to be able to do it. It's taking a penalty,
is that
which
why?
Mata had to die for.
Yeah.
Is that why that we are looking at trying to bring in Dybala for
Yeah.
Lukaku? And like I said during the stream, I do think we probably need to add to the goals. I don't think Marcus and Marshall have got it in them to carry us for 50
And
goals.
I think, as you
They're gonna
guys
need
said, we talk about the clinicalness. I do think we lack it. I mean, if you think about it, Martial, I only see him as our only one clinical striker that we have. Rashford, he can obviously score a goal, but he looks at every time he goes in front of goal, he looks a bit nervous, I feel, and he just rushes it. Whereas Martial, he shows that calmness and composure. And we saw it in his first season as well, didn't we, when he came in from Monaco. And I think that's what we need. And as you said, Steve, Dybala offers that, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
does offer
And then
that.
you've got low pressure on Mason Greenwood then. So he can come in at random times.
He's
and he'll be
looking
like,
good.
just do what you want, mate. Just enjoy yourself. Because there's no pressure on you. And they're just murdering defenders like he's done here.
Dybala comes across to me as well as a sort of player who you'd maybe line him up front, but then he'd be a bit like Griezmann, where he drops into the dangerous pockets and then he starts to help link up things. And I think at times, especially in Mourinho, our attack often looked isolated from the midfield.
God, yeah. Even under Louis it did.
Yeah, it did.
But now, you look how many people are in the box here. Now, if you just freeze it there, there's 3 there and there's someone on the right here
Game's on in the
too.
background.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fred with that shot there, which is good. But we saw before Greenwood having a dig, and we also saw Chong. Them two actually picking up the ball and thinking, "I'm going to have it. Might not be going in the back of the net." But that encouragement that they've got the ball and thinking, "I'm going to have a shot here," could give Ollie a headache. That if them shots eventually go in against big teams, or even just a little team,
They look exciting, really exciting. And I think every time they get the ball, we were even saying ourselves, we just feel like we need to get off our seats because they're
Six players in the box here. Watch this. So this is the Chong shot. So you got Chong, Pereira, Greenwood, Delo, Mata, and Pogba.
But as I was saying, like, I feel as if you get a bit more game time in Greenwood and Chong, I feel like that clinical, like we saw it in the youth system, like Greenwood has that clinicalness as well. Exactly.
Does he?
Yeah. And then like if he gets a few run of games, I think he'll show that, and that consistency will come.
I wouldn't be amazed. If he gets 15 games, I wouldn't be shocked to see him come away with like 10 goals.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
if he gets 1800 minutes, which is a lot of minutes. If he gets 1800 minutes,
how's he figuring this out in his head? Has he still got a calculator for Steve?
1500 minutes, 1300 minutes, right? If there's 10 goals in there,
So who are you starting as your front three against Chelsea then?
I think he'll go with Lingard on the right, which I don't agree with. I think that's what he'll do.
I think he'll do that as well.
I think he goes with Max on the left, Tony up front, Mata in the hole.
Really?
Yeah, because Mata's then got the runners around him.
Yeah.
Jesse can do the legwork that you're definitely going to need for Mata. I think that's not going to do, and help with the press because you want to get in and around the likes of Jorginho, totally disrupt what he's definitely going to be doing on the ball. And then I would probably go with Pogba and McTominay in midfield.
And do you think he brings on Greenwood then?
I'd like to see him.
I
he
think
could
he'll
bring on
Greenwood
Greenwood and
it's
James.
still 0-0 in the 70th minute, and he's realised he might have made a mistake.
I mean, something that Ollie did pick up on is that he said that he used the blueprint against teams that Mourinho had done well against. And obviously, at the start of last season, we used Mata on Jorginho. And the 2 times we also played Chelsea home and away in the FA Cup and in League. We played Mata against Jorginho, both of them games as well, and he was one of the standout performers. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Juan Mata as much as it might surprise a few people. But,
yeah, and I think you going forward, you've got to look at these youngsters really having a bit of a moment this season for United. But that does it change if United bring in the players that the fans want them to bring in. If Bruno and Dybala come in, that changes things, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think at the moment it's either a Bruno or Dybala. I don't think we'll bring them both at all. Maguire, I think United are focused on Maguire because they've been chasing, as we know, we've been chasing.
It would
this
be a
deal for
bit of a
ages, haven't we?
letdown if he's not United.
Yeah,
player
exactly. And I think
he will.
and we all know how much Maguire will strengthen our defence. He kind of looks like the perfect partner, doesn't he, for Lindelof at the back? Because where Lindelof lacks, Maguire's strength that, and then with Dybala, I feel as if he gets a run of games because he doesn't have that Ronaldo shadow looming over him, I think he could be a quality player for Manchester United.
Well, like someone mentioned in the comments during the watch along, he could also be Di Maria.
Yeah.
And that is not what we want again, because we had that incredible game I'll always remember, and I think it's done the rounds again on Twitter where we had that wonderful spell against Leicester, do you know, with Rooney and Di Maria linking up, and you thought this could be an incredible season ahead.
Well, I think people are making correlations between Di Maria and Dybala because they're both in a similar position that they're being forced out of their clubs. They both don't really have a desire to come to Old Trafford.
Both going to be on mega dough.
Yeah, loads of money. But I feel as if with Di Maria, he didn't have anyone at the club. If you think about back to then, he didn't really have anyone.
He slotted straight in with a Spanish contingent.
Maybe Rojo.
Yeah.
But
Romero.
and
he there
Romero.
I don't know if Romero was there.
Was he? No, I don't think he was
No,
there.
it was Victor Valdez.
Yeah, Victor Valdez.
But he was straight in with a Spanish contingent.
But we've all known that Paulo Dybala has a great relationship with Paul Pogba, and I think that could play a key part in his move to if he does move to Old Trafford. What do you think, Steve?
Nah, mate. We'll know by this time a week on Thursday, won't we?
Yeah.
The week to
Premier League have absolutely fucked himself in the yard here with
I'm
with
with
this
Arsene.
early
It's
transfer.
all Arsene Wenger's fault, I think,
dick.
because he was kicking.
Well, he's the one
fucking
that
loads.
done it, wasn't he?
And then he fucked off.
It's ridiculous, really, that over
The whole rest of Europe's like, yeah, cool, 1st of
because
September.
it works. Obviously, it works in different ways, but the Premier League club's desperate for another top European club's player, then they can just go, well, I'm sorry, lads, but you're the ones who are desperate because there's a week left on your deadline and 3 weeks left on ours.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it gives
It
him
doesn't
a
know
bargaining
it's
tool.
no good in any way, shape, or form.
Even for the younger, the lesser clubs in the Premier League, if someone comes in for one of their big players and gives them 100 million, they take a key player off them and they can't spend that 100 million on anything else till January.
The argument was like, oh, it's unfair because, like, what if a player plays against this team and then he moves and he, like, that's the game, man. The transfer window used to be to, like, the third Friday or Thursday in March.
We signed Cantona in December.
November. it was.
November, sorry.
Yeah,
And it's
like,
you know, this is how it's been for years. Why does it need to change?
That was, and there was still a deadline rush when that last week in March. There was still 6 weeks left of the season.
Yeah.
And there was still a mad deadline day rush. I mean, it's condensed and concentrated now because of how early in the season it happens. But September the 1st, August the 31st was fine.
So if we were going to go back and focus on the game and then pre-season, what would you guys like to see then in the next game, v AC Milan, that we maybe didn't see in this game, or maybe things we
Team
can work
that goes
on?
for us.
Yeah.
Because I think that teams are going to go for us way more than we've seen. But Joe, what's good? We are creating chances against teams that sit back, and that's something we struggled with under Louis and Jose. So I'm pretty happy, man. I'm as happy I'm as happy as you can expect to be. Of course, I would like to see us get new signings, but I think I just resigned to the fact that we've got an incompetent board that doesn't have the same ambition as the fans do, and like I'm not going to lose sleep over something I can't change. So
I mean, you can't really complain about 5 wins from 5, can you? I mean, that's the perfect.
People
Yeah,
will,
well,
people
people
are and
will,
will.
yeah.
And I always take pre-season. I always like a couple of defeats in there because you think. I remember once we had a storm in pre-season with Louis van Gaal, and then it didn't go very well. So fuck that.
I think an interesting part of the AC Milan game is we saw Kristiansunds had one big chance tonight, and I think AC Milan have got a real clinical striker in Paddock, who bagged a lot for AC Milan last season. I think it's those sort of games, as much as they do get underestimated because people maybe look at the rest of the AC Milan side, you really have to have a lot of focus as a defender to make sure that you stay with your marker, and Piatek's one of you have to.
So man of the match, guys?
I don't know. I don't think anyone really stood out enough to call him man of the match. It was
So if you had to call one,
Solskjaer's kid.
McTominay maybe.
Solskjaer's kid.
I thought McTominay looked good. Aside from that, I mean, he looked okay. Even let's be honest, it wasn't great, but I just thought it was a decent team performance. And if we have more of them throughout the course of the season, like I said, 30 shots. It took us a penalty to get it. Like sometimes that happens. Yeah, it's the way it goes down. Should we wrap it up there, lads?
Yeah, wrap it up.
Had a wonderful day, Steve.
Have you had a dead good day?
I've had a dead good day.
Dead good day out.
Dead good day out. It's been a minute.
Righty, make sure to subscribe if you're new around here. We'll be live again with the latest news in the morning, and then I think there's some other stuff planned for the afternoon, but I don't know what because I don't have the schedule by
Just
my
hit
fingers.
subscribe.
So just subscribe. Maybe hit the notification bell as well, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.